another exciting episode of the program Agric Economy on ARCN Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I am your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin. Amen. On today's episode of the program, we will be taking a look at agricultural marketing with a focus on export products. And of course, to discuss that with us is our in-house economist who has been shedding light on different topics with us in the person of Mr. Idakulo. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, sir, you've heard the topic. We'll be taking a look at agricultural marketing. First, what is agricultural marketing?
Agricultural marketing can be said to be the processing, the branding, the presentation, and the provision of value for agricultural products based on the areas where it is being sourced and where it is going to go for probable sales. So all the logistics details around ensuring an agricultural product from post to pre-harvest is concluded. Is what is called agricultural marketing.
Okay, so looking at now looking at our export product, let me say export markets, how is Nigeria faring?
Yes, Nigeria is not faring too bad, but we have not actually gotten to our full potentials. And these are based on several factors which the government and the stakeholders are aware of, and something should be done about. Because when you look at exports of agricultural products in Nigeria, over time, you discover that even in the past 5 years, Nigeria has witnessed over 65% rejection of most of our agricultural products that have been exported out of the country. The recent one is the one yam that was rejected by England and some of the European countries. So Nigeria has a lot of potentials based on our size, based on the arable land that we have, based on the population that can make produce these products and preserve and package them for export. But we have not really gotten there yet. So Nigeria still has huge potential despite the fact that we have started generating billions as regards agricultural exports. As at last year, we discovered that Nigeria generated up to about 450 billion naira in agricultural exports, which will be better because presently agriculture, which used to be the mainstay of Nigerian economy, has been sidelined, while other products like the oil sector are taking the shine. So I believe that if more effort is put into various segments of the agricultural value chain to ensure that the products that Nigeria is turning out is good in the various, meets the best practices standards of major countries in the world, the European Union and the rest. Nigeria will fare far better than what we have done so far, or far better than our performance of last year.
Okay, going forward now, what do you think we should do? We have a number of products. Yes, we're coming to that. So, for each product, what do you think are these are not too good aspect, and what should be done?
Yes, before we talk about the products that we have that are major products that Nigeria exports, I want us to have an idea of the problems that needs to be tackled. First and foremost is the supply chain problems that we have. Supply chain and logistics has been one of the major problems that we have, and that has been further aggravated by the crisis or insecurity, farmers and herders crisis, and bad roads. They have actually increased the supply chain problems that is really affecting export of agricultural products. Also, when you look at the packaging, we have poor packaging and labeling. For example, I give you an example. If you are traveling to Canada, for example, if you do not have an idea of how you can carry products, food items to Canada, you will just lose it at the airport. Because what Canada wants is that if it is melon that you are going with, you will put it in a transparent plastic container, and address it as melon, stating clearly. And every other product that you are going with that is a food item, you make sure that it's properly preserved, it is raw, and it is not fermenting, and you label it. When you do that as an individual, not even for export purposes, as an individual, you will be entitled to carry any kind of food product into Canada. And that goes for those that are for export purposes for economic reasons. So when you see a situation whereby our products are not properly labeled or the packaging is poor, you can imagine a Nigerian company that is exporting yam, for example, to England or the European Union, and by the time those products, because most of them are going by ship, which might spend up to a month or two before they get to their destination, by the time they get there, they are already spoiled. That is the packaging and the labeling problem that we have. And some of them, when you are exporting products that is not properly labeled, you give the end users cause to doubt. Because when we are talking of labeling, we are talking of the package, the total package, that is the content, what makes up the content, the kilograms and every other aspect of it. That is talking about labeling. Again, just like I said, we also have poor storage facilities. And it is this poor storage facility that affects even the preservation on the long run. Because at the end of the day, by the time we are now exporting, those products will not be able to meet the shelf life of what the intending importer in those countries want. Another thing is lack of value addition. This one is even happening more when you talk of our major exports like the cocoa, for example. You discover that the cocoa seed itself constitutes about 38% of the total agricultural output of Nigeria last year. Cocoa seed. While the standard cocoa product, that is the finished one, constituted just about 5%. So we are not adding value to these products. We have no value addition that is affecting the export, because when you add value to your products, you even have a niche market, and that market will always want your products instead of looking for somewhere else. Because when you are not adding value, they will look for others that can add value. So we have low value addition, and we are still improving, but I believe that we still need to work on our R&D, that is research and development on various products that we export as a country. So we need to look at all these things and ensure that our poor quality products are attacked right from the post and pre-harvest, so that it will not form a problem or basis for rejection on the long run. So these are major issues that we need to look at to ensure that this product Nigeria can be able to export as much as possible, and will have very low level of rejection in the foreign scene.
Okay, with all of these factors, they said there's no how that in all of it, are there policies put in place in ensuring this?
Yes. There is an agency of government called Nigeria Export Promotion Council. They are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that exporters of products in Nigeria, agricultural products inclusive, meet the basic standards of exports into other countries. And these issues that I mentioned earlier, like packaging, preservation, labeling, are also they are guided accordingly to ensure that they meet these standards. And they also have the various certifications of the countries that it is going to. So the government has tried as much as possible to put in place framework to ensure that exporters can have it easy to be able to export their agricultural products outside the country. And they have also put ahead workshops, seminars, and also consultancy and guidance to be able to assist those that are going to need advice from this National Nigeria Export Promotion Council and the other agencies saddled with it. So government has also put in laws to ensure that even the ambassadors of Nigeria in those foreign countries are also assisting Nigeria in marketing some of these products, and to ensure issues are resolved on a timely manner. So Nigeria government is trying as much as possible, but we also need on the exporters side, we also need to put in a lot more in branding, in quality production, in averting the logistics challenges, to ensure that we have a very good outing going forward.
Okay, yes, branding, packaging, and the rest of it has been identified as one of those things that need to be put in place if any agricultural product will meet international standard. On the note, to take a quick break, on return, we'll take a look, a focus rather, on our own products that is being sent and how they're faring outside the shores of Nigeria. Stay tuned. program Agri Economy on airs and television, Abuja, Nigeria, and I have been your host, Khadija Oluwatoyin. And our guest in the studio has been the person of Mr. Gabriel Dakolo, who has been taking us through what agricultural marketing is with the focus on export products. We've been talking about what agricultural marketing is before we take a break, and now the focus will be on the products as they come and what are the hindrances and possible solution for agro business owners to know what to do if they find themselves in that shoe of exporting their goods. Welcome back to the program, Sam.
Thank you.
Okay, so like we saw it before we went on break, I'd like you to mention some agro products and
Okay.
what the challenges are and the possible solutions so that farmers or agro business owners can learn.
Yes, at least Nigeria has a lot of agricultural products for export, but we have some major ones that has been a major foreign exchange earner for Nigeria. To mention a few of them, like the cocoa beans that I said earlier, like the sesame seed, like the cashew nuts. We have also the standard quality cocoa. We have the shelled cashew nuts. We also have ginger. We also have the shrimps and the prawns. And we also have natural cocoa butter. For example, the cocoa beans, just like I said, constitute about 38% of the whole agricultural exports of Nigeria last year. And Nigeria is the fourth largest producer of cocoa beans in the world. And most of the times, these products are highly sorted out from countries like the Netherlands, Germany, US, China, and Japan. The same thing with the sesame seed. Nigeria is one of the top growers of sesame seed, and it constituted about 26% of the whole agricultural product export last year. And countries like Vietnam, Turkey, Japan, and China also are major partners when it comes to export of these products. When you also look at the shelled coconut, cashew nut, for example, it's also one of the products that Nigeria needs to improve upon. Because when I say the shelled one, it means that it is still in its raw state. It has not been improved upon so that it can be exported. Nigeria is one of the major producers of the shelled cashew nut in Africa, and we do a lot of exports of it as well. It constitutes about 4% of our agri product. The same thing with ginger. Nigeria exports a lot of ginger, and it constituted about 2.6% of our agricultural export last year. So if you look at most of these products, you will discover that based on the revenue that we have earned from them, we could have done far more if some of these products are improved. Like I told us, we have just the cocoa standard quality cocoa, for example, constituting just 5% of the whole export, while the cocoa seed is constituting 37%, 38%. So you can imagine if the reverse is the case. If the standard cocoa quality cocoa is the one that constitutes 38%, the revenue yield for the country and the revenue yield for the exporters will have been very high. We won't be talking of 450 billion in revenue. We'll be talking about 2 to 3 trillion in revenue for the country. So that is where the branding and the quality of the products that we're exporting counts. And that is where most of our exporters need to look critically at. We need to be able to lock in customers in major countries, European, Asia, and the rest, by ensuring that our products are second to none, and ensuring that these products are fit, they are safe, and they have a high shelf life to meet up with the demands of the prospective buyers. So these are some of the issues that the exporters need to look at and to ensure, so that there will be a continuous business for them, and it will be a higher revenue earner for the country.
Okay, for example, for a new someone that is trying to come into the agro business world,
Yes.
what are your advice? What products are easy
Yeah.
to market and work on?
Yes, I will advise anyone coming into the agro business to ensure that first and foremost it goes for products that can easily have a longer shelf life because of logistic issues, because of transportation problems. Uh, it is about just 20 to 30% of Nigerian exporters that use the airline by cargo, air cargo, to export their products based on the content and also the, uh, the the percentage of it that the cargo can carry. So most of them go by ship, and when you are talking of going by ship, for example, you know that it has to take minimum of 30 days or much more than that. So every exporter of agricultural products must ensure that the products that are going out are products like cocoa beans, ginger, cashew seed, cashew nut, standard quality cocoa, and all the natural cocoa butter. These products are products that have longer shelf life, and they are products that you can easily improve upon. So these are the kind of products that any exporter must try as much as possible to look around and improve upon. The second aspect that I will advise any exporter to look into is to ensure that they have quality advice of the needs assessment of the intending countries that they are sending those products to. They should ensure that they meet the standard criteria for those products in the expected countries, and three, that they should ensure that they meet the regulatory requirements even from Nigeria here as well, so that at the end of the day they will not start the business and will not be able to finish it.
Okay, so what are the requirements for a small agro business? For example, now you just have maybe a small, piece of land, or let me say acre,
Yeah.
and then you just want to start small.
Yeah.
What are the procedure? What do you think are the procedures for?
Yes, like I've said earlier, for any exporter, you will have identified the agricultural product you want to export, and you will have put measures in place for the preservation, for the storage, and for the quality assessment. After you have done that, you will now go and register with Nigeria Export Promotion Council. You will meet their requirement. If it is products that NAFDAC, for example, needs to certify, or any other agency of government like the NIS, Nigeria Industrial Standards, if they are the ones that need to certify, you get all those certifications, because most of the times they are required. And going forward as well, there are some of the agricultural products that also need you need to meet some requirements from the countries that they are going to. You also get the requirement as well, so that you will be able to be adequately prepared. And another aspect of it, just like I said, is that you also have the idea of the packaging and also the labeling, because when it is properly packaged, when it gets to the destination, it will still remain intact, and the end users will be able to have an idea of what they are buying at the end of the day. So for any exporter, you must make sure you follow the rules, you follow the guidelines, and ensure that you improve your own product, so that you can have a niche market for yourself on the long run.
Thank you very much for coming on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So we've heard it, the upcoming marketers, agro-business owners should create a niche for themselves, ensure that you're able to package your products, where you're able to label them, so that they will be acceptable in the countries that you're taking them. Of course, you check if there are other procedures that should be met here in Nigeria, and of course in the country that you're taking them to. On the note, we hope that you have really been educated on the topic we talked about, which is agricultural marketing with the focus on export products. Thank you for joining us. Join us again, same time, same station next week. I am Khadija Oluwatoyin. I mean,